Kickstart Kenny made us do this. Hey, what's up guys, Rado here, and this is 2023 Suzuki RMZ 250. This is the bike that I had 3 years ago and 4 years ago, and this is the bike that I improved quite a bit on the track. This is 2023 model, pretty much the same as 2020 that I had before, and they do come really good out of the factory. I had this bike stacked here at this track 2 weeks ago. We rode a couple laps here, and I was actually really surprised how this bike felt. I wasn't on a Suzuki for maybe like 3 years, jumped on it 2 weeks ago, and it felt really good. Now, with the mods that we did to this bike, racetrack suspension, there is a twisted development ECU on this thing, and full FMF system, so we should have a little more power, and we also should have better handling with the suspension. Plus all the other companies that Jay usually work with, the Moto seat cover, we got the new plastics and the graphics from Decal MX, all the I-bars and all that good stuff. This thing should feel pretty good. We're also running a Recluse torque drive clutch on this thing that should last longer and also grabs a little bit better than your stock clutch. My buddy Cody will ride it today as well, and he will also race this bike bunch at Glen Helen this summer and spring seasons. So let's jump on this thing and see how it goes.
You guys probably heard that Suzuki is one of the best turning bike in the industry, and I have to tell you that this thing feels really good on the turn track. You know, in this track that you need to really stay in the ruts and try to stay in it from the beginning till the end, and then kind of accelerate out from the ruts and clutch it out. This bike just feels really good in tracks like that. And if you go to something a little bit deeper, for example in the Glen Helen, when it gets a little bit deeper and you need to be in those ruts again, this bike really feels great. So that's one thing that I really have to tell you, that even when it was 100% stuck, before we touched it, when I rode it on the turn track, it felt really good. It actually felt better than my 350 Husky in terms of getting that rut done the way it's supposed to be, staying in the rut, and bike felt light when I was riding it, and as I said, the ability to turn, the bike feels really good. Now for the power, yes, stack, it felt just a little bit underpowered, but with this full FMF system and ECU that was done by Twisted, it just woke the bike up, and it really feels good. It revs better, and it just runs kind of cleaner throughout the entire RPM. So as you can probably hear, the bike sounds really good. You can just shifting, clutching that thing out, and it really feels good coming out of these turns. The Recluse clutch we have on the bike here is grabbing really good, and it is a really durable clutch, so we can abuse it a little bit, especially in this little bit loose sandy condition. You are abusing that clutch quite a bit, but the Recluse torque drive is pretty tough and can handle quite a lot. As you can see, Cody here is having a lot of fun riding this turn track, and he's also racing the bike. Already has few races in at Glen Helen, and he did pretty good on this bike. So I have to tell you one thing, guys, this probably is the best value on the market right now. It doesn't take a lot to make this bike faster and better handling. You get your suspension done, throw some FMF on it, maybe different ECU, different mapping. It doesn't take a lot, and you can wake this bike up, and it feels really good, revs really high, and just feels amazing. So the value is definitely there. Even in a stock form for the weekend warriors, this is a great package. Yes, the suspension is a little bit stiff, so if you are maybe not so hard on the bike, you need something a little bit softer. For me also, I would want to get something a little bit softer. The stock bike was a little stiff, but now after race tech touched it, it really feels good, and I believe that this would be plenty of bike for a lot of weekend warriors out there. Definitely a great value.
What a red bike, guys. What do you think about it? It really looks good. That's one thing I have to give to Suzuki, that that design is good, even though it's not updated for more years. But it looks really good, especially if you throw some good, graphics and seat on it. Now, how the bike handles, I can definitely see that there is and feel there is a more pickup power in this thing with full FMF and ignition from Twisted. So it does run a little bit clearer. It revs nice and. It sounds a little bit better with this bad boy on. So overall, man, I had fun here, hitting my turns. This is a turn track and some jumps, and hitting those turns, I always feel better on the bike that doesn't have a lot of power, like compared to my 350. This is the ideal bike for kind of riding I do here on this turn track. So really felt good, coming into those turns and staying in the rut. It's a little bit easier to stay in the rut on a bike like this. It just kind of fell in my hand. So definitely, this Suzuki is the bike, as I said before when I did a review for a long-term riding this bike. It's really good bike for vet riders. If you're getting into motocross, or if you are a vet rider and you're not trying to make it pro, this is a really great bike. You can pick it up way cheaper than some other bikes and just throw a little bit of the performance on it and you have yourself a great bike. Now for the suspension with this race stack that has been done to close to my weight, 190 or so. Dude, I was hitting everything here and it did feel a little bit plusher than before. It felt compliant. It didn't do anything unexpected on me. So like it is right now, this package, dude, I wouldn't mind if this bike is mine, and I wouldn't mind to have it for like 6 months or a year and just ride it on the track all the time I go. As I said, my buddy Cody, who was also on this video, will race this bike at Glen Helen series this coming spring and summer. I'm also thinking to race probably a different bike because he will be on this bike, but we should have a lot of fun at Glen Helen. All right, my friends, well, if you like this video, hit the button below. You know what to do. Comment, let me know what you think about these Kickstart Kenny bikes. I like them. Let me know what you think, and don't forget, whatever you do, stay motivated. See you guys later.